average middle school student is developing both emotionally and physically, which is very confusing for most of them. So the girls, when they're coming in sixth grade, they're usually for the first time changing hormonally, and so we see a lot of girls all of a sudden being very sad and upset, which equates to talking with their parents, and their parents say things like, "I love my child, but I don't like them." And it's because we see a lot of aggressive tendencies in terms of wanting to be right and wanting to express their voice. And then with gentlemen, we see that the girls are actually outgrowing them in terms of physical size. And so a lot of the gentlemen start to develop some self-confidence issues in terms of wanting to be taller, wanting to exert their authority maybe over other students. And this process, 6th through 7th through 8th, is certainly a continuum of balance. Some say that middle school students are rather alien in terms of, you never know when they're going to come really happy, and you never know what days they're going to be really sad. But somehow, by the end of all of this, at the end of their 8th grade year, they become these mature, eloquent, beautiful citizens of the world. And you wonder, how did all that happen in only 3 years?
The teacher now has to watch over more than just one class throughout the day. So there are different kids that she has to learn about how they learn. It's almost like the natural selection for grades. I mean, if you don't adapt to it, then you're just going to fail.
Also, personally, I would think that the teachers have to understand or communicate better with the students instead of just teaching the whole class.
For me, I learn when we're interacting with something.
I agree with Maya. I feel like the teachers, we learn, but certain students learn at a different pace than others, so they should take a little more time or work a little slower.
Some middle school students are they're not desk learners. They can't just sit there and learn. They're more interactive, visual learners. That way they can understand the problem and the question better.
To middle school students, some of the biggest challenges and changes that we noticed as parents, and I say we, talking about Jeff and I, would be just the differences in expectations from elementary to middle school. Where when they're in elementary, it's you're kind of checking behind every single thing they do. And then when they get to middle school, they're kind of Mom, I got this. They want that independence of being able to do their own thing and not have to get it cleared through mom and dad. So per se, not as much as they would in the past, where I'm constantly saying, do you have your homework done? Do you have to get your agenda signed? Do you need this? Do you need that? Where that's not the case anymore. They're ready to move on and take that ownership.
We can have more responsibility and not always them helping out with everything, but maybe us do some stuff by ourselves. Because when we grow up, it's just going to be us. They're not going to be there the whole time.
Yeah, not overprotective, but just not worry so much. We can handle it.
Both my children have a cell phone, so that's something we definitely, Jeff and I, monitor and we regulate. Don't feel like it's an overuse, but the one thing they're really good about, if they want to put an app on their phone or something like that, it's still always that asking permission, which we haven't lost that. There's still the ownership of knowing that they have to ask before they do something. So that's been a really good thing. I'm hoping that stays that way regardless, because Clay will be entering high school next year, so I hope that doesn't change. And that will be Jeff and I's expectation, that it doesn't change, because Clay will know that he always has to get that approval.
About parents. They were talking about the social, a lot of kids who don't want to get their parents involved with that because it could start something bigger than it already is. So if someone starts something on social media, they want to fight their own battle instead of, but if a parent sees it, the parent would get mad at the student because they're trying to do that. But then the parents, they also could start something bigger than what it is already.
Yeah, exactly what Clay said. Ask the teachers, because the kids aren't going to say anything. They want to deal with it with themselves.
Social media, it's this great tool and it's powerful and you can connect with so many people all over the world. But then it becomes this dangerous thing because people take this this technology that's been meant for one thing and they use it for these negative things. And through technology, you get all these personal relationships and you get all these great opportunities to network with people, but you also find these people who use it to bully people. They use it to start fights. They use it to instigate things that are not positive. So sometimes we have to take a step back and we say, in what way is this harming our child? and in what way is this helping our child? And if we see that the harm is greater than the help,
I think that social media does play a big part in like a middle schooler's life, and some people let that affect them, but you shouldn't, because it's not like things that you see on social media aren't always true.
They worry about how many likes they get, how many comments they get. I mean, it doesn't matter.
So yeah, I just wanted to elaborate on that, and I think he's totally right. Yeah, you can be whatever you can be, what you want to be on the internet, but in real life, you're just you. You can't be nobody else but
I've
you.
seen a lot of my friends, when you get in middle school, they stray away, they start hanging with older crowds. Try to focus on your work more than your social life.
And to also not have to like always be with the same friends, because people change and your friend groups change.
I would say don't hang out with the wrong crowd because it may stray you away from your work that you do in school.
I would say don't try so much to be popular. Just hang with who you feel comfortable with.
Just be nice, basically.
I think that it's important to like stay friends with everyone, because you never know if like that person's gonna be like your best friend in a few years and you treated them wrong.
Just do what you're told. That's it. This is also like listen in school and be a leader. That's all I gotta say.